So howdy folks, Andy Gamer Muzzer here, and we're back on Elite Dangerous, and we're also back to uploading videos after a long hiatus from being able to do it. Many things have happened. My mother took ill the end of June. She ended up with a short stay in hospital and ended up in a reablement centre and in a home while she was being assessed on what she could and couldn't do, etc. Thankfully, that went on up to mid-December. She's now back in her own home and doing marvellously well. Back to her feisty old self and fighting fit and doing absolutely fantastic. Work has been extremely busy. I've had a promotion through work this year, and I've became engaged to be married. I've moved house. I've just had a hectic time between my last upload back in July to now. Things are settling down. I just haven't had the time or the motivation, to be honest, to do videos because I've just had so many other things going on. Thankfully now I'm back. Got time on my hands now to do things, and so we're back to doing videos. I have had time to play the game, but all I've been doing is I've been on a expedition called the Pegasus Run 3305, which is a circumnavigation of the galaxy. Started that on the 28th of September and finished midnight last night, or midnight today, whichever way you look at it. So today being the 8th of March. So that's where we are. So I got back into the bubble last night, was met by my close friend Commander Alan Bell and Commander Richard Hawke, and I was also celebrated with Commander Honey Jack Daniels, out of the bottle into a glass, and had a few of them. Ended up going off at 4 AM this morning after doing a few things, getting back in the old Corvette and going having a bit of a battles with some pirates, etc. And I had a good few hours of doing something different than jump, scoop, scan systems, which I've done since the end of September. So it was good to do something different. And so I thought I'd catch up with events that I've missed out on, and on one such event I missed out on was the Golconda. I didn't take part in any of that. The community goals that went on for the Golconda, I didn't take part in it. There's also been many. I need to catch up on the generation ships. So this video is the Golconda and the other generation ships that I haven't visited yet, and we're just going to play the logs while looking round the ships. Well, let's get in. Start the first log, and we'll have a look round the Golconda while they play.
This is Captain Jonathan Forrester. The Golconda colony needs your help. I don't know how else to say it. To anybody hearing this is what's happening. We have a full colony of people on board this vessel. That's tens of thousands of people. And until recently, we've been entirely self-sufficient, but supplies are starting to run low. More specifically, we're lacking a lot of technical components, air filters, water recyclers, circuit boards, things like that. And it's getting harder to patch this equipment up every year. There's only so long we can make do with what we have. And the other thing, and this is the real kicker, is that there's a disease going around which is knocking us sideways. Flu-like symptoms, but much more serious. People are dying. We're coping as best as we can, but our medical supplies are running low. And if this turns into a full-blown epidemic, then we're going to be in real big trouble. So I made the decision to reach out to you, whoever you are. Hopefully the tech's moved on enough for our signal to be picked up this far out. But the others really weren't sure if I should be doing this, because people here don't want interference from outsiders. But I don't want to worry them by explaining the reality of our situation. They're good people. I don't want them to be scared. So here I am, recording a call for help. Trust me, I wouldn't be asking if I didn't need to. I feel like I don't really know how to do this. I hope you understand. It's been a while. Captain Jonathan Forrester, signing off.
Interesting. I wonder if someone at FDev had a crystal ball to put the flu-like symptoms as part of that disease being what's going on in the world with the coronavirus. On to the next one.
This is Dr. Shay Tandis. Captain Forrester has asked me to summarize the situation on board the Golconda, particularly in regards to a recent outbreak of disease. I must preface this by saying that any attempt to summarize the situation feels inadequate. There is so much to say about the symptoms, the development of our detection methods, and existing treatment philosophies. Nevertheless, I will attempt to speak concisely for the purpose of this broadcast. The disease, known colloquially among the people as the wasting kiss, is a mutated strain of viral nasopharyngitis. One of the drawbacks of living in an atmospherically self-contained structure for hundreds of years is that illness tends to linger. We can't very well sterilize a ship of this size, and with each generation these illnesses adapt to remain virulent. This one particularly so. Antiviral treatments aren't particularly effective, merely delaying the disease's progress. We have confirmed 6 deaths in the past month attributable to the disease. Our medical supplies are somewhat limited, adequate for maintaining health and the occasional serious illness or accident. In the event of a full outbreak, with hundreds of patients requiring treatment, we may be forced to resort to measures such as full quarantine and isolation. When the captain first suggested opening communication with outsiders, I must confess to a certain hesitation. On reflection, it would seem the logical decision for the well-being of the crew. One can only imagine what pharmaceutical advancements have been made over the last millennia. The possibilities are fascinating.
Rick Blanchard, Security Chief of the Golconda. First things first, the safety and protection of the people aboard this ship is my primary objective. During my tenure, we've reduced the rate of crime aboard this vessel by 32%. Violent crime is rare, and there hasn't been a murder in over 6 years. My team are well-trained and do this ship proud in how they address the very specific demands of the Golconda. You might think an isolated, spacefaring colony of thousands with no horizons, seasons, or other planetary benefits would have gone mad and initiated some kind of mass tragedy. Well, not on my watch. Which is why I need to be clear in my opposition to the captain's decision to send out a distress call. Humanity doesn't enjoy a stellar record of respecting the rights and well-being of indigenous communities. Hell, we don't know what humanity is anymore past the confines of this 1,000-year hull. The risks outweigh the advantages. I'll follow the captain's order, because he's not let us down yet. Got a good mind, that one. But I'm asking whoever hears this message to understand that we're looking for a trade of goods and resources only. Communication with the general populace of the Golconda is forbidden. Messages regarding developments outside of the Golconda is forbidden. Direct contact between outsiders and Golconda colonists during an exchange of cargo is forbidden. We've always dealt with hard times ourselves. If it were my call, we'd deal with this by ourselves too.
He didn't sound too happy, does he?
This is Erin Gray of the Golconda. It's my responsibility as custodian to manage the needs of our people and ensure that everyone is fairly represented. I'm recording this message to satisfy the curiosity of anyone who may respond to our distress signal, I suppose. Truth be told, I'm not sure what to say. We're more than just a colony, you see. We're a family. Whenever a challenge is put in front of us, we resolve it together. When success is achieved, we celebrate collectively. We have... It's hard to put into words. Our ancestors chose to remain on this vessel centuries ago and leave our original destination behind. They did so because they had grown to love what they had achieved. Logs from that period show their anxiety at the prospect of leaving the Golconda. The generation ships were designed to keep colonists healthy, happy, and entertained, and somewhere in our journey, we came to feel loved, too. And yet, all things must come to an end. Sickness is rife and supplies are low. After so long fending for ourselves, the time has come to seek assistance from a civilization we no longer know. The captain believes that humanity has a heart and will come to our aid. If you're listening to this message, we're probably going to find out if he's right soon enough.
The last one.
Thomas Cobb, chaplain. I serve the Golconda, and the Golconda embraces me. Long ago, I would have been called a priest. Somebody authorized to provide guidance according to the rules of a religion. That's the role my predecessors fulfilled, at least. Eventually, the old texts were set aside in favor of a less rigid spiritual philosophy. Being able to view the entire nebula over breakfast inclines one towards the contemplative. There are few things more reformative than a sense of complete insignificance. Now, my role is to show my brothers and sisters that we are all important. Each of us has a role to play. We cannot concern ourselves with the scale of the stage. All we can do is deliver the best performance we can. Each person aboard the Golconda can trace their heritage from the first inhabitants to the current day. In the present, we contemplate the spirit and the soul, allowing the voices of the past to inform our future. Our respect for them, combined with our belief in each other, creates a community of hope. And here we are, over 1,000 years later, about to reach out a hand and hope that humanity accepts it. What lies in store for us, I wonder? What lessons have been learned from history? While I am nervous at the thought of outside assistance, I must admit, the question intrigues me. What did we become?
So, that's the Golconda logs all done. Very interesting. And it seems bizarre that I picked this time to listen to them logs regarding flu-like symptoms of a disease with the coronavirus going on throughout the world. But there you go. So, I don't know what the next one is going to be. We shall see. So, on to the next generation ship. So, here we are on to the next generation ship. This one being the Achlys. And this one is got itself parked right near an Earth-like. Great place. So let's listen to the logs.
Full diagnostic initiated. Engine. Systems normal. Medical. Systems normal. Biosphere. Systems normal. Habitat. Systems normal. Life support. Systems failure. Command. Systems normal. Defaulting to mission protocol.
Strange. Yeah. Life support. System failure. Okay, number 2.
Target system detected. Transferring to approach vector. Initiate manual control and override automated timing. Repeat. Initiate manual control and override automated pilot. Repeat. Initiate manual control and override automated pilot. Alert. Automated flight must be overridden for final approach. Scanning command deck for crew. No crew detected. Scanning ship for crew. No crew detected. Scanning ship for passengers. No passengers detected.
Oh dear. Seems like they got here. But the life support failure killed them all off. Which, as you'd expect. So, ignore me stating the obvious.
Malfunction. Process anomaly encountered. No crew present. Emergency protocols initiated. Begin spooling AI decryption override. Singularity will be reached in 451 hours. Stand by. Singularity achieved. Artificial intelligence operating at 92% of human capacity. Processing solution. The crew are dead. The passengers are dead. Reason, life support malfunction. Processing solution. Maintain geosynchronous orbit until further directives received.
Wow. Well, they got here, but didn't get there. Crazy. Sad. Very sad. Unfortunately, most of the generation ship stories that have been found all have a pretty sad ending. Obviously, the ones that haven't been found are the successful ones. So, you know, there hasn't been that many generation ships found for the amount that were launched way many centuries back. So, on to the next one. And we've once again got the logs already, so we'll start playing them and look around the ship. It's only a little ship.
Medical Officers Log 6933. We've done it. We're down on the surface and the habitats are all fully operational. No more supply runs to the ship and back. We've established 5 settlements in this region, with another 10 spread across the other regions. The elected leaders of each group have voted and declared the mission a success. Many of the settlements have decommissioned their landers as a sign of this, even holding ceremonies to celebrate our new life here. However, it appears our new home may not be as welcoming as we had hoped for. Much of the indigenous flora and fauna have proven to be toxic and highly aggressive. Several of the crew have been attacked while gathering food and supplies, and we've lost a few people to various incidents involving local plant life. Settlement Alpha and Beta have also been having problems with animal attacks. I mean, by all accounts, they've had it worse than us, with entire teams being lost. We've posted additional sentries to guard the settlement, but we're not a military operation. We're explorers and colonists. The best we have is an ex-security officer to keep us safe. We were simply not expecting such a hostile environment.
Just when you thought there'd been a success.
Medical officer's log 7463. The creatures got into our habitat. God, it was a massacre. So many dead women, children. They ate. God, I think I'm gonna be sick. We can't stay here. Corell has gathered up everyone he could find, and we're heading for Settlement Delta in the mountains east of here. Hopefully we can find some shelter up there. Corell said something about keeping the lander intact as an emergency measure. Maybe we can use that to get back to the ship. Medical officer's log is 7467. We reached Settlement Delta this morning. Only... there's no one here. There are signs of what looks like a fight and barricades in some of the bigger buildings. It looks like they tried to use the main hub as a shelter, but whatever attacked them tunneled in through the floors. I can't shake the feeling that these animals are watching us, biding their time. It feels like we're being hunted. At least the rumors about the launcher are true. It's here and fully intact. It seems as if our friends had turned it into a monument rather than break it down like the rest of us did. We've managed to locate the orbiting ship's beacon and made the necessary calculations for a launch. Our only problem is the fuel cells. They're dry. Hugh, our engineer, seems to think he can get some from the other building in the settlement. It will just take a little time, a couple of days, maybe. I mean, all we can do is wait and keep our guard up until we can get off this planet.
Did they do it? Did they get off the planet? Probably not.
Somehow, I don't know how, one of those things got on board. It must have been in the lander when we launched. We've managed to trap it in the farm pods, but not before it killed all but 3 of us. Leo won't make it through the night. The thing mauled him pretty badly. All we can do is keep him doped up on pain meds. As for Hugh and me, without access to the farms, we're living on borrowed time. We're in the process of setting everything back up when the creature attacked. We only have the few days' rations that were on the land. Wait. What was that? No! How did it get out? This can't be happening. It can't be happening.
Just when it was all happy and thought we'd found another successful generation ship, we hadn't. So, dear me, they These generation ships that have been found certainly haven't had a lot of luck. So, on to the next one. Right folks, here we are, a next generation ship. Phanes is the next generation ship. So let's play the logs for this while we're having a mooch around it.
I must admit, sometimes our mission seems futile. It's still difficult to accept that we're the last humans in the galaxy. But who am I to argue with command? Details regarding the end of humanity are scarce, and discussions of it is forbidden. The rumor is there was some kind of cataclysm. Sol was the first to fall, followed by every inhabited system in the core. Plague, famine, war. It could have been anything. All I know is we're the last vestige of humankind. We must find a new home if our race is to survive. Who knows what would happen without command? They've guided and protected us for hundreds of years. If I prove my worth, maybe one day they'll ask me to join them. But for now, I'm happy to serve in whatever way I can.
Sounds like a gullible fool.
Something really weird happened today. I was accompanying Admiral Kerr on our tour of the ship. Actually, it was more a case of pushing his wheelchair while he mumbled about the good old days. Everyone knows the Admiral should have been put out to pasture years ago. He's certainly not dealing with a full deck. Anyway, he said the strangest thing. As we were passing communications, he suggested we send a progress report to Sol. I tried to explain that Sol was gone, but he was insistent. Then he seemed to clam up, as if he'd said something he shouldn't have. He was silent for the rest of the tour. I'm not sure whether or not to mention it to command. Talk of Sol is forbidden, you know? But I don't want the old man to get in trouble. At his age, who wouldn't be confused?
The old man's not confused. The old man's switched on.
The incident with Admiral Kerr really played on my mind. So I decided to do some digging. I shouldn't have done it, I know, but I just couldn't stop thinking about what he said. I used his command clearance to access the ship's archives. I almost wish I hadn't now. We're not the last bastion of humanity. That was a lie. A deception designed to dupe every man, woman, and child aboard the ship. Our mission should have ended generations ago. But when the ship reached its destination, the planet was found to be uninhabitable. Most people wanted to turn back, but Command wanted to continue and find a new colonizable planet. There was an uprising, which was violently brought to an end. Afterwards, they put out reports that we were the last members of the human race in an effort to keep us under control. It was all a lie. I'm not sure what to do with this information. Would anyone believe me if I told them?
Probably not. They've all been brainwashed into thinking what they want you to think.
I didn't mean for things to get out of hand. But the people had a right to know the truth. I only told a few people I thought could be trusted, but it spread like wildfire. Within hours, Command was faced with an angry mob threatening mutiny, and they responded with overwhelming force. Over the last few days, the ship has been engulfed in conflict. Two factions have emerged. One that wants to return to the core, and one that wants to continue with the mission. People are dying, and it's all my fault. Why did I tell them? All I can do now is try to stop the killing before every last person on the ship is wiped out.
Wow. naughty, naughty command. So, there's the logs from generation ship Phanes. On to the next one. So here we are at the next generation ship, Demeter. Yeah, she's a big girl. Well, let's crack on with the 4 logs. Oh, it'd help if you play, wouldn't it?
We have a situation. There have been system failures in navigation, habitat, and communications. Life support seems to be working normally, but we only have enough power and biosystems for a few decades. We're drifting aimlessly. Assuming we don't reach a habitable planet soon, we'll be out of food in a few years. The captain has ordered us to keep a lid on this. I mean, we've got 3,000 souls aboard this vessel. The last thing we need is a ship-wide panic.
So, yet again, doom and gloom on a generation ship.
The war of the 4 tribes continues. We, the mechanics, are once again fighting for our survival. The peacekeepers, curse their name, have become dominant. After they allied with the colony, they destroyed most of us. But if we can form an alliance with the cultivators, we might yet gain control of the food stocks and avert our destruction. With prayer and zeal, we will prevail. We fight for the rich and the driver. We fight for the engine.
Gather they found out then.
Still we fight. Still we quest for victory over the mech lords. I hear them in the long night creeping through the vents like ghosts. From my earliest days, the elders told me of their rites and their sacrifices. Never venture out alone, my mother said. But still I do. I have to. What would we eat if we didn't forage in the bowels of the beast? The mech lords won't catch me. I am too quick and too wily. My brood brothers and sisters think me mad, but I don't care. They're just scared, too taken with the old tales. Now, if I see one of those mechs, they'll get full steel to the face, and I'll be off quicker than starlight.
Okay.
Tonight we feast. The flesh of the vanquished will be our banquet. Few remain, but those who do stand victorious. Unbroken within this tomb, this eternal prison. The Sayers will tell our legend for generations. They will tell of the last eaters, of how we rose from the depths of the engine, how we claimed our throne. But tonight, they will feast alongside us, and we will sing forever in the dark with a curtain of light ahead, heralding the journey to come.
Well, yeah. That was somewhat interesting. Two more to go, I think. Let's crack on. Okay, here we are at the generation ship Epimetheus. Very similar to most of the others. And we'll fly around it again while playing the logs. And one day I will hit the right button to get me to the logs.
Hello? But can anyone hear me? There's been a mistake. I'm not supposed to be in here. I only borrowed that data chip. I was gonna give it back. Locking me in the brig is completely unnecessary. Where do you think I would go if you let me out? We're in the depths of the black. All right, keep your shirt on. I'm sure we can work all this out. If I could just explain myself to the captain, he'd realize this is all a big misunderstanding.
Sounds like somebody's been a naughty boy.
What's happening? I can hear a siren. Can anyone hear me? I've been in here for 2 days and no one's come to check on me. Can't someone tell me what's going on? Please! Is the ship being evacuated? You can't leave me behind! You have to let me out of here! I'm not even supposed to be in here!
Oh dear.
Can anyone hear me? Am I just talking to myself? It's been days. Everything's so quiet. Thank God that siren finally stopped, but now the silence is killing me. Where is everyone? The automated systems provide me with food and water and flush away my waste, but for how much longer? Someone will find the ship soon, surely. We can't just drift through the void forever, can we?
Why not? It's happened to many of the other generation ships.
It's whispering to me. I can hear it through the air vents. The void is speaking to me. It wants to tell me something, but I can't make out the words. It must be a way out of this prison. A solution to the puzzle. I'm innocent. They know I've done nothing wrong, but they put me in here anyway. It was a test. I know that now. Part of some greater game. I just need to find the answer. How long have I been here? A week? A year? Maybe only a matter of hours. Isolation does strange things to people. A lesser man might have gone insane, but not me. Not Joe Collins. Joe Collins. That is me, isn't it?
Yep, I think he's lost his marbles. So, on to the next one then. The last one. As far as I know. Let's go. So here we are, the final generation ship that I know of. That's been discovered. Spear of Hope. Let's hope there is some hope. Because the others haven't been too good. So let's go.
Looks like one of the long-distance Pathfinder probes has malfunctioned. It wouldn't normally be a big deal, but we've already lost 2, so they're becoming precious. Finding a habitable planet depends on having as many working probes as possible, and that means yours truly will have to head out and fix it. I'm not expecting it to be a challenge from a technical point of view, but the probe is light years away. It will take the maintenance shuttle 6 months to reach it, and another 6 to get back. So, I'll be on my own for a year. Maybe someone will let me have their coffee ration.
Interesting. Different take on things. Normally doom and gloom.
I just returned to the Spear of Hope, having repaired the Pathfinder drone. There's just one problem. I've returned to a ghost ship. I mean, the whole place has been evacuated. I've checked the data logs, and it looks like the crew found a viable planet about 8 months ago. The Spear of Hope was going to take them right past it, so they staged an emergency evacuation. According to the log, 5,000 people left the ship in about an hour. I guess no one had time to think about one lonely technician out in the black. So now I've got to work out how to get to them. I always did enjoy a challenge.
Oh dear. So it went from not being doom and gloom to now doom and gloom.
Every last ship and shuttle is gone. There's no emergency fuel either, so my shuttle is all but useless. I can't even tap into the Spear of Hope's fuel line because it's powered by a propulsion drive. That said, all is not lost. I took a look at the engine schematics, and I think I can adjust the ship's trajectory using a nearby star. The idea is to get close enough to the star's gravity well to slingshot around it. Hopefully, I'll be able to put the ship on an approach vector for the planet. Honestly, I think the chances of it working are slim, but it's the only chance I've got.
Poor woman.
I've gone over the numbers and I think I can make it work. The only snag is it'll take a while to reach the next viable star. And when I say a while, I mean a really, really long while. If the numbers are correct, I should reach the planet in about 93 years. I've run the calculations countless times, but the results are always the same. The next time I see another human being, I'll be 132 years old. Let's just hope they've built a retirement home on this planet.
I was really hoping we were going to end on a high there, but that was quite sad, that. Quite sad. But yeah, well, at least everybody didn't die on this generation ship, or some other thing happened to twist it all up. So, you know, it wasn't... it was a happy ending in most cases, compared to the others. So, there we are. That's generation ships covered. The Golconda starting off, ending with Spear of Hope. So there we go, folks. So I'm back. Hopefully this is the first of many videos to come. I will be joining Drew Wager on his law tour, which starts the 2nd of April, so look out for videos on that. And yeah, so I'm happy to be back. Please like, share, subscribe as usual, leave any comments underneath. So to subscribe, hit the logo in the top left corner, and to see the other videos in the Elite Dangerous playlist, hit the logo in the top right. Catch you later, folks. Taddy bye.